Greetings, BBN. It's going to be a nuclear showdown in Kentucky, and that could be a good problem for Pope. Jelinek will compete for the starting power forward position with Otega Oway. How will it play out? Let's analyze the news. But first, subscribe to the channel. Jelinek's arrival at the Kentucky Wildcats has all the makings of a game-changing moment for the university's basketball program. With Mark Pope at the helm, the Wildcats appear poised for another standout season in the competitive American college basketball scene, and the internal competition for positions promises to further elevate the team's level. In this context, the battle between Jelinek and Otega Oway for the starting power forward position is one of the most exciting episodes BBN will have the opportunity to cover. It's not just two players competing for minutes on the court. It's the meeting of two distinct but complementary playing styles that could transform Kentucky into a multifaceted and unpredictable machine for opponents. Otega Oway, coming off a solid stint at Alabama, is the epitome of the modern player. Focused on defense and rebounding, its energy in the paint and ability to secure offensive second chances are traits that have already won over fans. He's the type of athlete who not only protects the basket, but also creates opportunities for his teammates with his dominant physical presence. On the other hand, Otega Oway arrives as a true wild card, bringing with him the experience of having faced some of the best teams and players in Europe. At 21, he's an unusual rookie, molded by years of high-level professional competition. His difference lies in his offensive versatility, a power forward who not only scores in the paint, but also knocks down three-pointers with precision and knows how to handle the ball in transition. These qualities make him a valuable asset too. The dynamic style of play that Mark Pope aims to implement. The decision of who will start may depend on how Pope plans to approach each matchup. Against teams that prioritize physical strength and dominance in the paint, Oway could be the ideal choice to impose his defensive brand. Against teams that rely on speed and perimeter, Jelinek could be the secret weapon to open up the floor and challenge opposing defenses. The fact that both are complete players, capable of contributing on both offense and defense, gives Pope the flexibility to adapt his tactical scheme as needed. What makes this matchup even more exciting is that it's not just about who starts, but how these two talents can combine to create something bigger. College basketball is replete with examples of teams that have achieved success by integrating different playing styles in perfect harmony. In Kentucky's case, the combination of Oway and Jelinek has the potential to be devastating. Imagine a team where one blocks shots and secures rebounds, while the other knocks down three-pointers and cuts through the opposing defense with precise passes. This duality could be exactly what Kentucky needs to excel in a conference as competitive. As the SEC, there's a significant psychological aspect to this matchup. Teams with motivated players determined to prove themselves tend to bring out the best in themselves. Both Jelinek and Oway have a lot to gain from showcasing their talents in an iconic program like Kentucky. For Jelinek, this is a chance to show that his European experience can translate into success in the United States. For Oway, it's an opportunity to cement his status as a key player in Pope's project. Opponents, in turn, should view this situation cautiously. Having two players of Jelinek and Oway's caliber on the roster is a luxury few teams can afford. And knowing that both will be available throughout the season is a clear warning that Kentucky will not be an easy team to stop. Whatever Pope's final decision, the Wildcats will take the court with renewed confidence, knowing they have powerful weapons for any scenario. As the date of the first exhibition match approaches, BBN eagerly awaits how this story unfolds. What are your bets on who will win this match? I'd love to see your comments at the end of the video. Otega Oway is undoubtedly one of the most interesting and underrated names in American college basketball for the 2025-26 season. While many debates about the National Player of the Year award revolve around established stars or highly hyped Newcomers, the Kentucky Wildcats' veteran point guard, seems to be unfairly overlooked by analysts and pundits. However, BBN knows that Oway has everything it takes to be one of the most important players this season, and perhaps even the most valuable player in the country. Oway not only led the Wildcats in scoring last season, averaging an impressive 16.2 points per game, but also proved to be an elite defender, recording a career-high 1.6 steals per game. His ability to impact the game on both ends of the floor is rare, especially for such a young player with so much potential for further growth. He was rightfully recognized as a second-team All-Sec member. But now, with Mark Pope at the helm and a roster packed with talent around him, expectations for Oway are even higher. One of Oway's most striking characteristics is his versatility. He's not only a prolific scorer, but also a playmaker who can dismantle defenses with his dribbling ability and attack the paint. His ball handling and vision make him a constant threat, capable of opening up space for his teammates and creating opportunities where none seem to exist. This combination of offensive instinct and tactical intelligence makes Oway a unique player, capable of deciding games in the most crucial moments. However, there is room for growth, and Oway is aware of it. One of the most discussed areas for improvement in his performance last season was his three-point shooting efficiency. While he made 35.5% of his attempts from distance, his shooting volume was limited, as he often opted to shoot only when completely unmarked. This conservative approach may have been a strategic choice, but it also left room for criticism. Fortunately, reports from summer workouts indicate that Oway is working tirelessly to improve his jump shot, an aspect that could make him an even more lethal shooter this season if Oway can consistently expand his offensive range and become a reliable three-point threat. The implications for Kentucky will be enormous. It wouldn't be surprising to see his scoring averages rise above 20 points per game, solidifying him as a leading contender for National Player of the Year. Furthermore, his improvement as a shooter will allow him to create even more space for his teammates, creating a positive ripple effect on the team's collective performance. Defensively, Oway is already a force to be reckoned with. His ability to pressure opponents, anticipate passes, and steal balls is unquestionable. And with rumors that he's even more focused on honing his defensive skills during the offseason, it wouldn't be a stretch to say he could finish the season as one of the best defenders in college basketball. Few players can combine high-volume scoring with consistent defensive impact. And that duality should be enough to put Oway at the center of discussions for college sports. Most prestigious award, the fact that Otega Oway isn't being widely mentioned among the National Player of the Year favorites is, in fact, a reflection of the underestimation Kentucky faces early in the season. But this could prove to be a secret weapon for the Wildcats. While other teams and players deal with the pressures of external expectations, Oway and his teammates can focus on improving on the court, silencing critics with increasingly impressive performances. At the end of the season, when the numbers are tallied and the highlights are evaluated, it will be difficult to ignore Otega Oway's impact on Kentucky's success. He has all the tools to become a complete star: scoring, playmaking, defense, and leadership. More than that, he represents the essence of college basketball, a player who grows, evolves, and leaves his mark year after year. And BBN, can you start getting excited about your team? What about this football? Kentucky football is about to kick off its 2025 season against the Toledo Rockets. But the atmosphere surrounding the team isn't the most optimistic. For many BBN fans, the struggles faced in recent seasons have created a cloud of skepticism that seems to hang over Kroger Field. After all, after a disappointing performance in 2024, when the Wildcats finished with a 4-8 record and only one SEC win, it's understandable that fan confidence is shaken. Furthermore, this year's schedule is considered one of the 10 toughest in college football, which further increases the challenges for Mark Stoops and his team. However, Despite the external doubts, there are clear signs that the program is moving in the right direction. The work done during the offseason demonstrates a conscious effort to correct past flaws and build a more competitive team. While the prognosis may be bleak, it would be premature to write off this roster before the ball is even kicked on Saturday. One of the main reasons to maintain some hope is the Wildcats' defense. Historically, Kentucky has been known for its defensive strength, and all signs point to this tradition continuing in 2025. The unit brought back several key players from last season and added strategic reinforcements at positions of need. With experienced and talented names leading the pack, the defense has the potential to be one of the best in the SEC this year. If they can maintain consistency and avoid major lapses, the Wildcats can count on their defense as a reliable anchor. In tough games, if there's one area where Kentucky struggled significantly last year, it was the offensive line. Consistent failures to protect the quarterback and open up space for the running game were crucial factors in the team's decline. However, the coaching staff has worked hard to address these shortcomings. The arrival of Shiaz Pete, a left tackle, transferred via the portal, is seen as a significant upgrade. He joins other veterans such as Yalen Farmer and Yeager Burton, who are determined to prove they can compete at the level required by the SEC. While it's still too early to predict the full impact of these changes, preseason workouts indicate this could be a much more effective lineup than last year. The biggest question mark for Kentucky's success in 2025 lies under center, the quarterback position. Zach Calzada, a transfer from Incarnate Word, was named QB1 after a fierce offseason battle. Calzada has experience in the SEC, having previously played for Texas A&M, but his performances have been inconsistent. Now, in his third stop in the conference, he has the chance to redefine his career and lead an offense in need of stability. Calzada's performance will be crucial to Kentucky's success. He can exceed expectations and connect effectively with his receiving corps, including promising addition Kendrick Law from Alabama. The Wildcats' offense could take a significant leap forward. However, if Calzada fails to find his rhythm or is unable to handle the pressure of the SEC, the team could face similar challenges again as last year. There's no denying that this year's schedule is brutal. Games against established teams like Georgia, Tennessee, and LSU pose monumental obstacles. And even more accessible matchups could be difficult given the overall quality of the SEC. Reaching a bowl game will be no easy feat, especially considering the minimal margin for error that accompanies such a difficult schedule. However, if there's one thing Mark Stoops has proven throughout his career, it's his ability to get the most out of his players, even under adverse circumstances. He has a history of surprising critics and leading underrated teams to unexpected successes. With a strong defense, a revamped offensive line, and a motivated quarterback, the Wildcats have at least a chance to overcome pessimistic predictions. While the outlook seems challenging, there's reason to believe that Kentucky football 2025 will be better than last season. The defense remains a strong point. The offensive line has received significant investment. The offense has interesting pieces to explore. Of course, everything depends on how these pieces fit together during real games, but the progress is already visible. What do you have to say? Comment?